this video I have some professional sort of RF distribution equipment, like for antenna systems used in motels, hotels, that sort of thing. Hills Modulink. Looks like we've got a MPS 9 power supply. Supplies up to 9 modules. TV distribution systems made in Australia by Hills Industries Limited. Power before fuse. Test point -30 decibels. RF in out with a terminator on it. And the more interesting stuff we got, but you do need a power supply to run it, of course. Looks like someone's had this for road use or something. That's all been sort of stuck together with gaffer tape. This is a modulator. Where is it? Audio video modulator. And the interesting about it is it's got stereo and a little stereo symbol there. Dual and stereo. So that's what I think it's got a switch here, dual or stereo, so you can have, like, I guess, bilingual as it would have been. So that'd be really interesting if that actually puts out the old analog stereo standard that stereo TVs can decode. And that has like an IF out. So it's not actually a full-on modulator. What's this off and on thing? Don't know, is that part of the stereo thing? But this is the actual proper modulator, I think. What does it say? Oh, frequency up converter. So that, yeah, it's kind of weird. It does have, what does that have? We've got, although, yeah, we've got stereo AV in. And nothing on, some of these do have plugs on the other end. We've got some F connectors, which would be the output of this thing, I assume. And that actually has a symbol for stereo as well, so does that one. Or is that just 2? Maybe that's some other Mark II or something completely different. I was thinking that was stereo related since it's on that one. So we've got input present, so it detects if an IF's coming in. No IF input, must have some lights behind there. Power on light, output level. So that goes into that from the other one. IF in, channel 36 output, so it's UHF. Standard Australia. So yeah, that'll be alright. Don't think there'd be any stereo TVs that didn't have a UHF tuner in them. Plenty of old VHF only TVs, but they're all mono as far as I know. And the only reason I'm really doing anything with this at the moment is someone's cut the cord off it, of course. So I think I might pull the end off that one. Be interesting to have a look inside. We'll get rid of this gaffer tape. I think they've all got these 15-pin D connectors joining them together. That's just a heatsink. Yeah, you can see them down inside there. Someone's just taped them to hold on, and they were sort of made to mount on the wall, I think. It may have been a professional rack mount system for these even. So you could have them like in a equipment room somewhere. You'd set all these up, run your antennas in. I've got another different module somewhere that's, well, I guess we could even have a look at it. This is a Hills Maxi-Link 40 distribution amplifier. And interestingly, this looks like it has the 3 different bands. You can plug 3 different antennas into it. So again, perfect for feeding into a distribution system in a hotel or somewhere with a lot of rooms. So you've got 45 to 150, which I think is band low VHF, 170 to 250 band high VHF, which where I am would have been ABC was on band low, channel 6 TVT on band high, and you got 470 to 900 UHF, so that would have been your SBS, and Southern Cross eventually when that came out as well. So you can basically put each antenna in, adjust the levels of each, and then they come out as a combined output. Again, we've got 30 dB down test output. Is that just, yeah, that's just our output. Someone's left a terminator on there, which is a bit odd, if it's ever been used. And that was a $10 special. I think that was something like $10 as well. So I've been grabbing any of these things if I see them, which is very rare that you do see them, but if you ever see this sort of stuff for sale, definitely worth getting hold of it. And now I'm finally getting some TVs set up on some shelves. I want to get these CRT things running off some distribution amps and the rest, and I'm going to have to modulate some sort of AV signal up to RF, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might put some up on VHF because there's VHF only TVs. Some of the stuff like this maybe on 36, maybe we'll have a stereo channel or a different one. and then I'll just have to run it off whatever signal source. Could be just a set-top box off the modern digital channels, and maybe HDMI. Some actually do have, I think, composite output or HDMI we can down convert. That might be the main thing to get on there, but also maybe something off DVD player or whatever, even off a computer or something, so we can watch YouTube or something. And then I want to sort of make like a telly wall, or I might have different ones showing different things. Not sure what I'm going to do. The beauty about these modulators, if you put them all into an RF system, you can combine all the different outputs, so we can have a UHF channel, we can have a VHF, all running around the same wiring and plugged into every TV, and then you can just change channels on the TV to show different images. So I want to set up something like that. I've been hoarding this stuff away for years now with the intention of doing it, and I've finally got the TVs, starting to get them stacked up together and getting some power boards and stuff set up to plug them all in. So I might as well start running a bit of the good old RG6 pay TV type cable, quad shield stuff around, and splitting that up to all the different TVs, either using RF distribution amps, or I have to have some sort of RF distribution. I've got some video amps and splitters, so I'll have to work out exactly what I'm going to do. But it'd be nice to get some power on this thing and get it powered up. I mean, this may not work for all I know. Good old gaffer tape leaves all its glue behind. Lovely stuff. But this will look a ton better just getting this off it, I think. So it's got a bit of roof insulation or something attached to that as well. Maybe it has been somewhere like that. You never know, it could have been up in a roof that some sparkies just stuck it together like this and left it sitting in the roof space. Anything's possible. Amazing what you find in roof spaces. Whoops. That's come unplugged. Date. 1st of March 1994. And these would have been very expensive. Yeah, those have been knocked around a bit, maybe 96, 16th of the 9th, 96. Oh, these connectors still good. They're kind of a bit, yeah, been knocked around a bit, I think. So this probably has been mobile. Looking at the condition of those connectors. Does this one have a date? 3693. Oh, 3rd of June 93, so it is, yeah. 3rd of the 6th, 93. So they're all around that era. And yeah, would have probably cost hundreds of dollars each. Which seems expensive compared to just your normal masthead amp or a little distribution amp. Definitely more for the commercial end of town, these sort of things. Back in the early 90s. But let's get that disconnected. And can we just unscrew the end off this out of these brackets? I think you press them in and slide maybe. Yeah, that's it. So we might get to see a bit inside this, or we might not. It's only a power supply anyway, so probably not very interesting. And that really achieved very little. That's just got the cable clamp on it, but at least we're getting somewhere. If we can get that clamp off there. Sometimes you need to use some side cutters, or we'll just try the old squeezer, and yeah, it comes out. Something plastic makes it quite easy to flex it out. And yeah, getting rid of that gaffer tape's one of the worst things. Hopefully one of those sticky label remover type orange juice things, whatever they are, will, citric acid or whatever it is, will get rid of that. And it's a bit rusted, this thing, so that's a bad sign. Now, is that soldered onto a circuit board? Looks like it is. So we're going to have to slide something out. That is a piece of circuit board itself. Do we unsolder that to take it off? Might have to, I think, because nothing's coming out that end. Nothing's going to slide if it's got that plug in the way. Oh well, maybe we have to desolder our way in to this box. I mean, I could just hook something on here, but I'd prefer to actually put a cord so it's inside there somewhere, preferably terminated on whatever the proper terminations are, because I really don't want these sort of terminal blocks and dodgied up main cords everywhere. Half these little CRTs are bad enough, and I'll have to fix them up eventually and put proper cords on them because they've been cut. I thought that was going to take a ton of heat to melt that, but it melts quite well. Doesn't mean it's going to come apart easy though. Maybe some solder wick would be better on this, but if we get the bulk of it out of there. Is that doing anything? Virtually nothing. I think we're going to have to prise it as we heat it maybe. That's well and truly stuck. Or maybe there's more than that holding it. It sure feels like it, but maybe it's just because there's so much of this. Yeah, weird. That one's almost off. Probably is, yeah, if you can shake it around while it's trying to set. You may stop it re-sticking. I think that's kind of loose. Yeah, that's loose. Now we're going to have to try and rock it back and forth and get the main one off. That's it. Oh, it's actually double-sided board. Oh, is that the problem? Oh, so I'm actually tearing the copper off the back. Well, I didn't realise it was double-sided, or I would have heated it up a lot more. But anyway, it's got little balun things on there to RF shield it or whatever, and that's soldered to the circuit board. And the circuit board, oh, what, does this lid come off or something? Yes, they've actually pressed that on there. Oh, have they? How have they done it exactly? There's definitely a pressed on bit. Oh, I see, it goes around here. So there's one join there, and this case can split open because there's a couple of rusty screws. I'll tell you, this thing has probably had a bit of water on it. So whether it's going to work, I think in that case we might even hook it up first. I might even just put a terminal block or some of those little crimp connectors just next to these ferrite bits to save me having it, because I can get to the earth wire easy enough. I might solder that one to the board, but the others are a bit further in. I guess we should maybe cut the whole length. I'll just gently cut it with a knife so that I don't score the cables inside. If you can get a bit of a score line along this, you can often tear it. Don't need a bit more than that though. Like that. Should be able to fire this up and just see if it runs. Is it a switch mode? I'd say it is. But hopefully it all works, because I'd love to have a stereo modulator. Even though I don't have any real particular use for it, it's just nice to know if this stuff exists, because I never thought we'd really see stereo transmissions being received by those sort of televisions again. like obviously you can go through the AV, but that's not the point. We actually want to liven up the tuner and stereo decoder if we can. Don't know why really, but it would be nice to get that functionality working. I can hear something went splat and something's making a funny noise, so I'd say the switch mode's probably running to some degree. Do we have a light on? We have a flashing light on. Now that might just be because we've got no load on it. Like so, yeah, just a switch mode. And we've got a light there. Is that IF present maybe? Well, it doesn't have an IF, does it? Oh, now it says no IF input when I plug the plug in. What? Silly creature, I think. Or maybe it just finally worked that out after it ran for a while. But that doesn't have an earth connected by the look of it. Yeah, it must just flicker after a while probably, I'm guessing. Now it's also possible if there's no signal going into this that there's no IF. Like if there's no composite video. Have I got an IF lead? I should be one in my TV antenna stuff, I'm guessing. That's better. That thing can go in the bin. It's not even good to scrap all that stuff. Because it's steel cord. Yeah, beautiful clear picture. Oh, these are quite nice little units. Don't think I've really had much to do with these things, but I have seen this sort of stuff installed in hotels and the like. And they would do things like have, you know, Kino and different things running around onto the TVs, as well as guest bedroom stuff and whatever they distributed around to the guest areas, dining rooms and stuff. So you get a whole bunch of different ones of these modules and hook them together. But yeah, beautiful. I'm glad that thing, I know it's running. I thought it would. But yeah, as soon as you see rusty screws, you worry a little bit that it could have been damaged. But that's all going, other than testing the sound, which, if that much works, I doubt the sound's faulty. Might just leave that adapter on there. So what can I get to? I can almost get to those wires, but I don't think we can quite get the soldering iron up. And I better unplug it from the power point before I pop the earth leakage breaker. I might be able to do the active. I almost can do them. But the earth is nice and conveniently near the back here. So all you've got to do is here rerun the new wire with that little ferrite bit on it. Yeah, I think I can get away with. So active's the next one in. Not that it's probably that picky. And I'm sucking a bit of the heat out of the soldering iron into the aluminium, but I think we can get that all installed. Oh, they're labelled on top of the board, which is handy. Just got to salvage our little, I guess I could just cut these really, but a little ferrite bead. That is basically what a ballon looks like inside, a little piece like that with some smaller wires wrapped around it. Like a 300 ohm to 75 ohm or something. Antenna ballon. Bingo. So I'll find a nice cord and get that installed. So that's it in here. We've got spatial mode, stereo light on, which we can turn that mode off again. Sounds pretty good. Balance light is just there, so if you're in bilingual mode with two separate languages, you've got to completely put the balance to left or right depending on what language you want, and that's probably just there to remind you to turn it back again when you're finished, because why is that weird yellow light on the TV? Otherwise you're just listening in mono to one channel or the other. But yeah, all running fine. Got a few other TVs set up off the same modulator, and a few I've got to tune in, a few I don't even work. I've got to sort out, a few black and whites and stuff mixed in there which I've got to sort out. But that's all going well. That should allow me to test the stereo function on things, the actual decoder. I might get a VHF version as well. I do have a VHF mono modulator which I want to use because I want to get some stuff on the VHF channel, especially for VHF only TVs. And black and whites and the stuff, though half the black and whites I've got here, the tuners don't even seem to work, so I have to hook a portable or something into those, just a little solid state one, and try and get some test signals into them. But slowly coming together, and that's just one of the steps on the way, is getting a modulator, and it's nice to have stereo, since they were certainly not common. Though you can buy newer ones from Kingray that are stereo, but I think you're looking around $300 for a new one. That's it in operation. Definitely putting out stereo because that stereo light won't come up otherwise on the TV. So I'll keep progressing and trying to get this collection of TVs all running. But that's all show on this one for now, so thanks for watching.